The good things and things I did like about Rolling Loud California. Number one is single day passes. I think more festivals should offer single day passes, and I get the logistics of getting people to buy the 3 days. You guarantee that every day is sold out. If you sell single days, some people are just gonna go Sunday. Some people might just go Friday. They're not gonna enjoy the whole festival. They don't make as much money. If you're the promoter, I understand why they do it. Um, it also is probably easier to just manage one sale, 3 days and that's it. But single day passes, I thought that was a cool option for people because you're able to just pick a day. Like you don't want to commit to a 3 day, 4 day weekend how Rolling Loud California was this year, with Kanye added on Thursday. You could just go the day you wanted to go. I know people just went on Friday for Nicki Minaj. Some people went on Saturday just to see Fuerza Regida. Actually, we'll talk about that a little later. And then there's some people that just went on Sunday to see Future or maybe other artists. And I think that's super cool. Single day passes. That should be more welcomed at more festivals. What I do like about Rolling Loud is it's divided in the VIP crowd versus a regular GA crowd. Like half of the where the stage is at, half is VIP and then half is just GA. And I do like this because usually VIP is for older people, people who could afford to pay a little bit extra. General admission, it's more of a younger crowd who would barely afford to even be at the festival. So you could also go to the front of the stage. Like if you just want to camp it out and go to the front of the stage and see the artist up close, you could do that in GA, or you could do it in VIP, and you don't have to wait as much time as in GA because it's not as full. More people are just chilling in VIP. The crowd doesn't go as hard in VIP. We'll talk about the audiences in a little bit, but overall, I like that option that you're able to go VIP or GA. Another thing that I do like is the planes, and the venue is located next to SoFi, which is located next to the airport. So you get to see the planes coming in over the stage, or you're walking around the festival, and then the planes look super close, a little bit scary sometimes, but um, I think overall, I think it's super cool seeing the planes coming in. It just gives you every time they came in, and then like the artist is playing, it would just be a super sick scenic background. Um, Another thing I did like is all the extra stuff that's around the music, the rides. Like it does look like a carnival. There's go go go. There's rides. There's skate parks. There's people skating instead of watching the music. There's people just enjoying that. There's people playing 3-on-3 or 5-on-5 basketball games. There's people sitting in bleachers eating some food, watching people play basketball in the middle of the festival. I think that's super cool. Like it makes it like a cool experience. Like you're going to this venue not only to watch one of the artists playing at the different stages, but also just to have a good time with your friends or maybe play some ball. I think that was cool. They also have barbershops, tattoo parlors, beauty makeup place, um, and small little lounges and little clubs throughout the festival. So you could have a unique experience. Every person at Rolling Loud, even if you went with the friend group, they're all going to be experiencing something different. Even if you watch the same artist from different angles. And that's what's cool about festivals. But this one in particular, I just loved the whole aesthetic of it. I thought it was really cool. The scenic of just the LA sports park, it's called, or whatever, SoFi Stadium. So you have the stadium, like one of the newest and coolest stadiums in the world. It's just the foreground because this is like the whole parking structure. So that was just the entire vibe of Rolling Out is awesome. Another thing I do like is the production, the actual production of the stages, and how the artists have that like walkway in the main stage where you could actually see the artist up close, and then they walk up to the crowd. Um, I'm just comparing it to like Coachella, where the homie Oliver was saying on the vlogs. In Coachella is like it's so much people and the stage is so far. Like unless you're camping out, you really don't see the artist up close. But at Rolling Loud, it felt like every stage you could see the artist up close, and that's something about smaller festivals like Rolling Loud. So I think that's super cool. I just like the production with the runway and also the fire. They use so much fire and so much like extra to hype up the crowd, and you don't see it at other festivals. So I really like the production. I like the way the main stage looks, super sick. The Nicki Minaj production was insane. Then you have the other stage. The other two stages were pretty cool as well. Not as big as the other one, but overall, sound was perfect. I thought the sound sounded really good, even if you were far back. I've been to festivals where the sound sucks, besa mucho, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, the fire, the production, I thought that was really cool, and seeing the artists up close, there's nothing that beats that. Another thing I do like was, it's a 16 plus festival, so you're gonna give a wide range of just energy, a wide range of people, a wide range of artists. There's artists that a lot of these artists I had never heard of. I'm more of an older person going to these festivals, so I listen to like YG and Tyga and Future and Post Malone, Nicki Minaj, people that are from my era, Big Sean, like that's one that says I want to see the most. But then there's people that go there for these artists that I have never heard of, but these people are going crazy. People are just having a good time, and that's super cool because it's like I like that mix. They're gonna have their best experience listening to whoever their favorite artist is, and I'm gonna go listen to the artists that I grew up listening to, and they're gonna be at the festival as well. And having those options, I think it's also super cool because it just keeps music moving forward, and you bring a little bit of different tastes for everybody. Um, and the energy, and the young people are gonna be in mosh pits. Young people are gonna be going crazy. They're gonna be just no fucks given because when you're younger, this you just care less or you have less experience, and I think they just go harder. So I thought it was really cool just having that little mix. Um, and overall, I thought the music performances, everything, everybody I saw, Big Sean was super fire still performing with the band and actually singing all his songs. I think that was super cool. Nicki Minaj also sang a lot of her songs. She was super sick. Post Malone. There's yeah, there's a lot of good sets, a lot of good experiences. I saw a lot of artists I had never seen before, and yeah, that was probably all the pros from this weekend. Again, I had a good time. Even the Kanye listening experience, we were right there where Kanye was coming out the ramp. Like he was like 20 feet, maybe 30 feet away from me. I probably will never see Kanye up close. For now, one day, of course, I want to work with Kanye, but that was cool. So that experience alone, just seeing him up close, the listening party. I did like the listening party. We'll talk about on the cons right now, but to me, like the listening party was sick because how could I say this? We didn't get the performance, but they're playing the songs that everybody knows, and they're playing the songs, and everyone's singing every song. I think that's that experience, and then seeing all these special guests like Kodak Black, and you had Freddie Gibbs, and you had YG come out, and all these people that are coming out, and North and her friends, like those moments are cool. And there was an interview that dropped the next day after the Vultures listening event at Rolling Loud. Kanye and Ty Dolla Sign, they got interviewed by Big Boy. It's on YouTube. The interview just came out, and they literally say, we saw Ty Dolla Sign says why they're doing the listening experience and not performing or whatever. He's like, we've seen DJs at music festivals, we've seen rock bands just absolute kill, do a sick set, play all these instruments, have a good time, make the crowd go crazy. But then you have a DJ play right after that's getting paid more money than the rock band that is also turning up the crowd. And the DJ's not even talking or playing instruments or talking to the crowd. They're literally, of course, they're mixing and playing different songs. But he's like, what's the difference between us going on stage and playing our music and having the crowd go crazy? Is the same thing that happens when DJs do it. So that was pretty. I had never thought of it like that. I was like, wow. I mean, he kind of is onto something. And also, like some of these rappers at Rolling Loud too, like they don't even freaking rap. Like their song is just playback the whole time, and these dudes are just jumping up and down, hyping up the crowd. So what's the difference? Like the whole point is to have the audience experience something together. Would a performance have been better? Of course, a performance would have been 1,000 times better. But the listening experience, if you haven't been to a listening experience, it's just like everybody together singing the songs. And I think just being and feeling the music and the vibration from the speakers and people singing around you, there's people crying around you. Those moments don't translate to what you see in the videos. that's what makes those experiences cool. And I've even heard people complain about DJs. They're like, wow, people are there just to hear a guy play buttons or whatever. But it's just like you have to be there, you have to experience what it's like. Even last year during Calvin Harris at Coachella, it was when he was playing. I don't think they even showed Calvin Harris, or maybe I didn't see him, but the whole production was just a giant LED freaking wall, and then Calvin Harris was playing like all his like top hits, getting the crowd going crazy, the lights and everything, and the whole time it's just like it could have been another DJ, it could have been Tiesto or David Guetta up there or Steve Aoki, and I think the crowd would have been just having as much fun. Like if they literally had the same production, you just switch the DJs, it would have been amazing. And I get that point, but also you just have to be there in person because I could show you a video of how Calvin Harris felt and was that day, but if you weren't there, you can't experience that feeling of everyone singing "When I Met You in the Summer" and then like the lights, and it's just crazy. It's just you just have to see it live. But anyway, those are the pros of Rolling Loud. I went on a tangent there, but let's talk about the cons. So the cons of Rolling Loud. Shit. Where do I even begin? So the cons. Number one would be the marketing, promoting, and under delivering. Because when you're a festival and you're just trying to sell tickets, you have to do whatever you can in order to sell tickets because you're trying to get paid. You're trying to pay the artists, you're trying to pay for the production, all the marketing money they spending, plus they're doing so much. So you have to do whatever you can to market and push sales, especially in 2024 when people are just not going out as much. Like people don't have money anymore. It's inflation has caught up to us. The 2 years post two three what's that? Damn, it's been 4 years since 2020. But yeah, it's everybody's struggling. There's the rent is an all time high. Pay is not all time like we haven't the rates of income have not kept up with inflation. Housing is a mess. Food has gone up. Um, Everything's pretty crazy. So it's like getting people to commit thousands of dollars to go to a festival. It's like a festival is not a priority of most people. When you're barely trying to survive and get food on the table. So Rolling Loud was doing all kinds of marketing to get people to show up. Now the thing that people were complaining about the listening party we were talking about earlier is Rolling Loud was promising that the Kanye listening event for Vultures was going to be a performance and not a listening party. When they dropped the flyer, it said Vultures, Rolling Loud, LA, whatever, but they didn't say listening experience. And then people were commenting on Rolling Loud on Twitter asking, is this an experience or a listening party? And then Rolling Loud posted saying it's a performance. And they said it's not a listening party. They literally promoted it as a performance. Now, if you've never seen Kanye perform, which he hasn't performed since the Larry Hoover concert in 2021, and then before that, since like 2019, I think the last time he performed. So Kanye hasn't performed in a while. I've seen Kanye perform. If you count the listening events, I've seen him 12 times already. I'm like a huge Kanye fan. Like I was gonna go regardless of whether it was a listening party, whether it was a performance. But his performances are the best. Like his music is just so sick. He just has some of the best like live music. It makes like what Vulture's listening experience. He's getting people all over the world to go to these Vulture listening experiences. He's had them in San Francisco, Vegas, Phoenix, Miami. I think he did one in New York. He's had them in France. He's having one in Egypt coming up. He had one at Rolling Loud. He's getting people to pay to just go listen to the album with a lot of people and just to see him and just be in the presence of him. So what other artists would be selling out arenas just to listen to their album? Like he's not performing, but he's getting people to sell out arenas to go listen to his album. Like that's the power of Kanye. Even after being dropped by Adidas, being dropped by all his labels, nobody wanted to work with him after his comments. And then to come on the other side with the number one album, the number one song in the world, and selling his own merch and just selling out and just dominating 2024 so far with two more albums rumored to still come out. Vultures 2, which was supposed to drop on March 8th, and Vultures 3 whenever it drops. But he's able to do this even after being blackballed by the media, the music industry, just everybody in general, to his own fault, I guess. But I guess he is also proving a point that it doesn't really matter what you say, what you do, or cancel culture is not real. It only makes you more famous. And he's been literally doing that since the George Bush doesn't care about black people on national TV. He was blackballed. The Taylor Swift incident, he says all the like mainstream music industry kind of like blackballed him since then, and he still was able to just continue and deliver incredible performances, incredible music, marrying one of the Kardashians, having kids with them, doing all that, divorce, new wife, and he continues to just stay ahead, finding ways to just keep marketing, to creating an impact and creating incredible music, which is the number one reason. So that was the whole Kanye tangent. So yeah, marketing for Rolling Loud was a little bit shady. They also, for the first time, and the only reason I ended up going to Rolling Loud in the first place, or I was even excited to go to Rolling Loud in the first place, was because they added corridos, they added Mexican artists, Chino Pacas, which was on the actual lineup. Then they had a section on the bottom of the flyer that said special performances Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday we had Nathaniel Cano, on Saturday we had Fuerza Regida, and on Sunday we had Junior H. Three of the biggest artists in Mexico, the three of the biggest artists in the Regional Mexicano. This music genre has taken over the world, basically. It's barely like on the rise. Like Peso Pluma right now is leading the way, and he is opening so many barriers for people to be even invited to a hip hop festival. Peso Pluma is sub-headlining Coachella later in April. He was just on the cover of Rolling Stone, becoming the first Mexican artist to ever be in the cover of the Rolling Stone magazine. No other Mexican artist had ever done this. Peso Pluma, as well as having winning VMAs, performing corridos at the MTV VMAs, bro. Like that's crazy. Like I had never expected this, or even a Mexican artist to co-headline Coachella. I always thought it was gonna be Maná or El Tri, someone like more traditional, someone that's like been around for a long time, but it ended up being Peso Pluma. And if he's about to drop his second album, barely his second mainstream album, and maybe one day he'll come back and headline Coachella, which I was predicting this year, but I guess it didn't happen. So Mexican music is just on the come up, and you have Fuerza Regida. They sold out BMO Stadium and an arena tour last year. Junior H and Nathaniel Cano. They haven't really played in the U.S. a lot, but in Mexico they're selling out festivals, 60,000 people, 50,000 people just to see them. So bringing those guys to Rolling Loud was gonna be super sick, and they know that the audience in Southern California, because it was said by one of the founders of Rolling Loud, was on I think a brown bag interview on YouTube. I ended up seeing it, and he said, "Oh, we saw that when we brought reggaeton to the Miami Rolling Loud, people went crazy because people in Miami listen to reggaeton, but people here in California they listen to a lot of corridos and hip hop, and is the same cross genre. So people are able to come to Rolling Loud California, listen to hip hop, and then still listen to corridos and just have a good time." And that's the reason I was gonna go to Rolling Loud in the first place, and the only reason I decided to go to Rolling Loud was to watch the Mexican artists. To be honest, like if they were not on the lineup, Metro Boomin and Future, I saw them at Coachella both weekends last year, and I mean he had The Weeknd, Don Toliver, he had John Legend, 21 Savage, Future. Who else came out? I mean, the set. It was just he opened up with trumpets. Like I knew that the Rolling Loud set wasn't even gonna be just as good as the one that we just saw at Coachella last year. So I wouldn't have gone just for that. Nicki Minaj and Post Malone. So Post Malone, I've never seen, and neither Nicki Minaj. But I feel like Nicki Minaj was the only one that was worth it. But if I known that they weren't having all these artists, I probably would have just gone for Nicki Minaj on Friday, and then they added the Kanye listening experience on Thursday. And that's what I kept saying is like this marketing is like, we'll give you a free show on Thursday with Kanye. It's gonna be a performance. Just come to our festival. And even the Wednesday before Rolling Loud, you could still buy layaway single day passes. Like a ticket that costs like $140, you could pay $30 down and then make payments still after the festival. Like they really wanted people to come. They were doing whatever. They announced that Junior H and Nathaniel Cano weren't gonna perform literally like the Monday or Tuesday the week of the festival. Like people already have their flights, they already called off work, they have their plans, and then you announce these artists are no longer gonna be playing. And I know so many people that were going just for the Mexican artists. Then you have Fuerza Regida is still on for Saturday. If you bought single day passes for Friday to see Nathaniel Cano or Sunday to see Junior H, you could transfer those single day passes to Saturday so you guys could watch Fuerza Regida. They literally made a post about that. And then, we're still going to enjoy the weekend. Like I said, you already made your plans. You're going to have a good time no matter what. Things you can't control. Our lineups are subject to change. I feel like this was pre-planned with Rancho Humilde to promote this whole thing because Nathaniel Cano never got a working visa, but this was months in advance. He couldn't get a working visa. Junior H was booked at another festival in Mexico the same day or the same weekend. How are you booking them for two different festivals the same weekend? Because they knew that he wasn't going to come to Rolling Loud the whole time. Because it's more beneficial for him to play in Mexico where people are going to know his music more. But that's just shady practices to even book him for Rolling Loud. And then Fuerza Regida was still on, but I don't know if it was the pressure from the other two artists dropping that people were like, why is Fuerza Regida still on? Or I don't know exactly what happened. Or maybe this was the plan, sell tickets. They Rancho Humilde and Rolling Loud could make maybe they made some kind of agreement to use their artists to sell tickets and they get a percentage or just to see how that would work. But it's all shady because the day they dropped Nathaniel Cano and Junior H from the lineup, that same day, Rancho Humilde announced the SMO tour, the SMO festival, which is their own music festival featuring all their artists, just corridos, the same day that the Rolling Loud controversy happened. Jimmy Humilde and Rancho Humilde posted that, and it went on sale like a couple days later, selling out. So I feel like they used all that just to promote their own festival. And also, like, you have Junior H, Nata, and Fuerza Regida on that poster for months, Rolling Out, spending money, trying to promote the festival to move tickets. People are going to be listening to these artists. So you're getting free promo, free playlist, free people talking about it, and then you cancel last minute. You still made those artists a little bit more famous. So I think it's all pre-planned. Like, nothing happens by accident. So at least that's my conspiracy theory head mind. I just thought it was kind of shady. All the whole marketing for Rolling Loud was a little shady. So yeah. So another thing I didn't like was it's very disorganized. Like nothing made sense. Their map, everything inside, the entries to even enter the festival, one entrance. It was just like a mess throughout the whole festival, and like they even try. I know they're trying, so I don't want to talk negatively because I understand it's so hard to control 50,000 people, 60,000 people, and create good crowd control and everything that happens. But some of these, like the VIP bathrooms by the main stage, were terrible. Like, oh my god, it was disgusting. I feel like general admission had better bathrooms than VIP, and it just doesn't make any sense. Just have more bathrooms, or I don't know. That was kind of a mess. Then you have the VIP section was kind of dead, but it happens, I guess, at every festival. Um, Especially for artists earlier in the day, people aren't just they're just not going as hard because they're there just to see the headliner or just to I don't know. It's just maybe just there to create content, just there to be part of the LA crowd because the LA crowd is always it's always kind of dead, to be honest. People complain the California crowds, but it's mostly the LA crowd. The LA crowd just doesn't go hard because everyone's worried about themselves and how they look or whatever. So LA crowds compared to when you watch videos from like Rolling Loud Miami or any other festival. Another con is the parking. Like $40 pre-sale, but it was like 68 or some places $80 to park every single day. So if you went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're paying over almost like another ticket. Like you could have bought another ticket just to be parking at the stadium. And the parking to get out was also a nightmare situation. Like it would take at least an hour, if not longer, to leave the venue. And that just kind of like, I don't know if it's just because it's the location, SoFi, But the whole parking situation was a mess. One, they're making so much money on the side that if you're going, you're spending so much extra on parking and also leaving the festival, and it just sucks like having to wait so much time. The other thing I didn't like is that how the festival ended so early because like you have sets by like 10:30, they're kind of over. The festival's done by 11, and it's like what you feel like there still should be somebody else coming in or something. I know maybe it's a city curfew, but I feel like a festival shouldn't end at 11 p.m., bro. That's just when barely things are warming up, you know? So that's another thing I didn't like. And also the concrete, because it's a stadium and it's nothing but concrete all over. That shit kind of sucks for being there for, long periods of time. Compared to festivals that are on grass, festivals that are on like an actual dirt, it's easier for you to go hard. So having just concrete is just kind of super uncomfortable, even to sit down and relax. Just being in the concrete parking lot is kind of too much. Um, and also like the sets, they're a little too short. So some sets are like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, even 30 minutes for an artist. Like you're there and then their set's over, or the bigger names too, only doing like 40 minutes. Sometimes I felt like the sets could have been longer, or I wanted to watch certain artists longer, or even commit to certain artists, and then like their sets are so short. So that's one thing I didn't like. But also I like that for smaller artists who don't have a 30-minute set, but they have a good 20 minutes. I understand for those. So it's like a pro and con having short sets. I prefer longer sets though, because I feel like that you'll get a real experience when it's a longer set. Another thing is they didn't have enough water refill stations compared to other festivals I've been to. Yeah, like definitely need more water refill stations. The one thing I did like, they were giving out these water pouches. They were tossing them out into the crowd or passing them through the crowd. So that's the only thing. And then of course, because the festival targets a lot of younger audience with like these up and coming artists, the crowd sometimes is a little too crazy. The crowd control gets out of hand. Um, and a lot of people are just there recording. So, how do you guys feel about people recording at festivals or just recording in general? Actually, I'm gonna make a video about this, but it's just everywhere you see is people on their phone now. Um, Starting off 2024, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a video that went viral. That was like somewhere in France at the Champs Elysees. They did the New Year's countdown, and then it's like five, four, three, two, and literally the whole crowd is on their phone. Like everybody in the whole crowd for the New Year's ball drop, or in New York City as well. The countdown happens, but everybody's already recording. You go to a concert, everyone's already recording. There's the famous LeBron James breaking the all-time scoring record, and then when there's a photo of him in the air like shooting, and then behind him on the foreground you have the crowd all around the arena just on their phones. That's just society now. That we just have to accept that people are gonna be on their phones. That our phones are an extension of us as humans now. We're kind of like a human hybrid society now. Like your information, you could pay with your phone. You have your phone ID. Some if you already have that, you have all your apps, your email, your text messages, your phone calls, your social media accounts. Everything's connected on the phone, and we're all addicted to these phones. At least I am. I see a lot of people addicted to the phone. So do we just accept that that's who we are as humans now? Do we accept that we're just the next evolution of humans using these tools to be more productive, but these tools are also taking away all our time? And if you're watching this on your phone, you're probably been on your phone all day. So it's kind of crazy to think about. But though I wish that people went hard and didn't record anything. Yeah, I mean, I record at festivals too. I recorded with my Osmo Pocket, the camera I'm using right now. I actually didn't record nothing with my phone this weekend, but I'm always on the little camera at least. And yeah, it's just hard. How do we solve this problem? I guess once we start wearing glasses, our phones are gonna be replaced by eyewear. That's gonna be the next iteration where you don't have to use your hands to do the task that you want to do. So instead of going to having a phone. You're just gonna have glasses and then contacts and then a chip on our brain. I guess that's where everything is heading. So, I guess enjoy for now that you have control and have a separation with the machine before the machine is implanted in your body. I guess. But anyway, yeah. So Rolling Loud, it was like I said, I had a good experience, but also very underwhelming when it came to the artist. I wasn't waiting for Fuerza Regida. Like I was already in line. I was like hyped, listening to the music all day. I was like, okay, cool. I'm early for Fuerza Regida, and then I hear someone talk about Jeezy, and then I open up my phone. I hadn't been on Instagram all day, and it said Jeezy was replaced. Fuerza Regida was replaced by Jeezy while we were waiting, and that was super disappointing. But we still, I had to, once you're there, like I'm just trying to enjoy the show. I ended up watching Jeezy. I don't even know his music like that, but I was already there. I'm not gonna not listen to the guy. So, um, just a lot of shady marketing practices and not delivering. But again, it was also good too because we got to see some incredible sets, and I got to see Nicki Minaj was super sick, Post Malone. I also got to discover new artists. We checked out the third stage on Saturday during Flo Milli because I had seen Flo Milli at Coachella, so I was like, Flo Milli be cool, but let me go check out what's on the other stage. I haven't been there all weekend, and my friend said he had heard of like Osama's son or something. So we're like, oh, let's go check that out. So we got there. It was a very young audience. The crowd was a lot smaller, so we got to get to the front of the stage, and literally every song was mosh pits, which is super crazy, and that's super cool. I was like, damn, like I don't know any of these songs. To me, it just sounded like bass the whole time. Like you can't hear one word from the artist. It was just bass, like incredible, just super strong bass, and people just moshing every freaking second. So that was a cool. That was cool. Just seeing, I guess, that's the evolution of music, and also all the songs were like a minute or less, 40-second songs and shit. I was like, what the? That's, I don't know. I guess that's what the kids are into these days. Another thing I did notice is pickpocketing and people stealing phones. So at this particular stage, because it's a younger crowd and they're moshing every single second, people are going into the mosh pits and stealing phones, and that sucks, bro. Like there were so many kids who had just lost their phones after every like performance. People were just walking around looking for their phones, and there was a lot of cops there too because the cops were trying to see who the hell's stealing the phones because I guess it was happening all day. So if you go to festivals, if you're gonna get in mosh pits, make sure you guys protect your phone. Make sure have like a backpack. I don't know, just protect it. Give it to somebody if they're not gonna be in the mosh pit, because people do go in there just to steal phones. So anyway, that was my experience at Rolling Loud. Let me know. Have you guys been to Rolling Loud? Are you guys interested in going to Rolling Loud, or have you been screwed over by Rolling Loud in the past and not going again? Because in 2019, it was an okay experience at Rolling Loud. It was cool, but I also felt like it was very disorganized. And I'm like, it has to have gotten better. It's been 4 years. I haven't been since 2019. I come back and it's like one of the just messiest festivals, but also had a good time. So I got to see Kanye, and I don't know, would I do it all over again? Had I known that there wasn't any Mexican artists, I think I would have just gone Friday and Thursday for Kanye and Friday for Nicki Minaj. And the only reason I went the 3 days, shout out to the homie Peyton, because I got hooked up with the Loud Punks pass. So I had VIP Loud Punks experience. And it was going to cost me the same to go Thursday and Friday if I bought the whole weekend. So I ended up just getting the whole weekend. And then at the end on Sunday, I gave away my tickets after 3 days. It was just like 3 days of festivals, and they dropped the artist that I wanted to see. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to give it away to one of my followers. So did a giveaway on Instagram, and I didn't go on Sunday. So yeah, so that's my experience at Rolling Loud 2024. If you went to Rolling Loud, let me know about your experience in the comments, and hopefully maybe we'll see a Rolling Loud 2025 depending on on the lineup. But even then, it's just like I just hope the festival gets better. Even if I don't go, just for people going, because people who are spending their hard-earned money at these festivals deserve a little bit better. And if you're going to Coachella, I definitely recommend you go to Coachella. If you have the money and you're gonna spend the same amount of money at Coachella or Rolling Loud, it's not even a question. Like Coachella is 10 times the festival that Rolling Loud is. The artists are better. They have better hip hop sets because it's the Super Bowl of concerts. It's the Super Bowl of music festivals. So the artists do their best sets. Like I said, Metro Boomin had The Weeknd and Future and Don Toliver and 21 Savage and John Legend and some, I forgot who from the Migos came out. Then you have it's just the best. You're gonna have the best guest performers, the best production, actual full sets. You know that whatever Coachella markets, they're gonna deliver and have just some of the best, like just the best. And they added a new stage this year, the Quasar stage, which is pretty crazy. The first time since the Sonora stage got added, like in 2017, 18. Now they're adding the Quasar stage, bringing an EDM only stage with 3 hour sets, including Rufus the Soul, Michael Beebe, and I think Diplo's in one of them. Oh shit! And then Anima and Eric Prydz and Anima doing back to back at Sunset with these new visual stages. Like the visuals are gonna be out of this world, and they're also doing a new Sahara tent. Lil Uzi Vert is gonna be playing there most likely, and yeah. So anyway, Coachella. We'll be talking about Coachella in the upcoming videos, but I'll see you guys at Coachella. Maybe Rolling Loud 2025. My name's Angel. Like, subscribe. See you guys later.